Yeah, the world is so small till it ain't. I'm building up a wall till it break. She hated when I call.
Mac Miller's Swimming was one of the greatest albums of 2018 in my opinion, and Circles keeps that going, man. Circles is a beautiful album, a beautiful fucking album. I think, on some real shit, this might be so far our best album of the year. I know we're only in January, but this is like tip of the fucking mountain right here for me. I'm just gonna discuss mainly the 5 songs that I personally loved off this album. Gonna give a little bit of an in-depth on them, a little bit more from what my ideas and perspective is on them, and pretty much the rest of the review is a written review, so this is just me kind of getting a little bit more personal with the review. For starters, the first track I want to talk about is Everybody. Everybody, I think, is one of the best tracks off this album, if not, I think, my favorite track out of all of them. Pretty much the concept of Everybody is similar, and honestly the sound is too, of John Lennon's Imagine, where pretty much Miller, from what I was vibing with, is talking about how everything happens to everybody at some point. You know, we all die, we all live, we all have our goods and our bads. Like, that's kind of what the whole idea of the album is, in my opinion. Not so much the album actually, but the song, my fault. The album itself is, since it's a companion to Swimming, since it was supposed to be a 2-piece, and now apparently confirmed by John Bryan, if I'm saying the name right, it was actually supposed to be a trilogy. There was supposed to be a 3rd album that was mainly like kids, where it was just all hip-hop. Apparently he said that there was supposed to be a 3rd album, but we'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, Everybody was one of the best songs, I think, on this entire album. If you listen to literally Lennon's Imagine and this side by side, like, there's such a similarity. Like, they go hand in hand with each other, that they are a perfect song, in my opinion.
Imagine there's no countries.
Everybody gotta move.
Next song I want to talk about is Hand Me Downs. Hand Me Downs features a little known singer or vocalist called Barrow. I had to Google, the lyrics to the song to actually figure out his name, but Barrow is on some Frank Ocean level shit. This dude has a beautiful voice, like, beautiful. The first time I heard this song, I was baked, and my god, it was beautiful. Hearing his vocals for the first time, like, I was shocked. I honest to God thought it was Frank Ocean at first, and then the reality set in that Frank Ocean's not doing a fucking Mac Miller album, and Frank Ocean just in general isn't going to be putting himself out like that. Like, he's not going to be doing music as heavy. So I was fairly shocked. The main theme of this song to me was kind of the coping mechanisms to, battles with yourself, mental illness, like that kind of thing. Miller's second verse on this shit was probably one of the best when it came to the flow and delivery. Like, I really loved it. But this song was, like, if it wasn't fucking Everybody, it was this song. This was also a song that kind of defined the album for me. That made me just go, like, whoa. Like, this right here is some just grade A shit, dude. Some grade A fucking music. And then next song I'm also going to talk about, which is after Hand Me Downs, is That's On Me, track number 9. Track number 9 is really well done production-wise. That's On Me is kind of, from what I took it as, it's the song that pretty much shows Miller, taking responsibility for everything. Kind of like, the addiction, like, it all comes, like, into full circle. Like, swimming in circles, the whole concept of that. Like, that's kind of what these songs do, is they pretty much play off of one another from previous album Swimmings. And, like, this is just such, like, a nice song in the sense that we hear Miller, knowing and accepting his demons, and at the same time trying to still, like, get better, fix himself. Like, that's that's always the sad part about, this album is, Mac Miller, being that he passed away back in September of 2018, it is a heartbreaker, dude. It hurts because truly this is, I think, the best introspective of who Miller was. Like this gives us that other half that Swimmings didn't have. But again, that was the whole concept of the album, was to be swimming in circles. Like if it wasn't for this right here, this album right here, we wouldn't have this album, obviously. But like Swimmings did such a great job at setting a tone for Miller, almost like a maturity tone. This I think was the most mature Miller has ever been on an album. And then I listened to Circles, and it was like it changed that for me. I really feel that he matured a lot on this album, and it sucks because again Miller sadly passed away. Next song I want to talk about, Surf. Surf reminded me of like a 60s, Beach Boys kind of track. This is beach music. I really fucking love the production on this one. The production on this guy was dope. But at the same time, lyrically, I'm kind of conflicted where I'm thinking it was going. I want to say that, the song in sense is about heartbreak, just being in a bad relationship and missing that person. Like, not so much that it was a bad, toxic relationship, but it's just that the people outgrew each other. And I think part of this song is low-key kind of almost like a sorry letter to Ariana Grande, his last girlfriend, before sadly he passed away. Because they had broken up before he had passed away, and a lot of people speculated that, their breakup was part of the reason he overdosed, which, it's a bit of a ridiculous stretch that, we could blame someone for that. But at the same time, I think this is the song where he's kind of talking about, a little bit more about what the breakup did to him, mentally, where he was and why he was doing what he was doing to himself, which is just, it's upsetting. And then after Surf, the final track I want to talk about, out of the 5 tracks, this is definitely one that, hits hard in home. Once a Day, from how I take it, is pretty much about slowing down. A lot of the problem for Miller was Miller lived fast, and I think that's a lot of the problem with most of the rappers is, living the fast life, beers, drugs, women, fucking snaps, dude. It clicks and it goes. And this song almost to me is like Miller talking about just taking it slow, slowing down, taking life one day at a time, rather than trying to do everything, before you're 22, 23, trying to rush life. This is just about taking it one day at a time, enjoying, the scenic route one day, maybe enjoying a nice walk on the beach one day, just enjoying life, and it's a heartbreaker for that, because if that is truly what the intention of the song was, that's the final, this is possibly the final album by Mac Miller. Again, supposedly John Bryan said that there was a third kind of just straight hip-hop album, but we don't know if we'll get that. That's up to Malcolm's parents, who, have already kind of expressed opinions that they really don't want to do that with his music, that they want to keep his music, this is what they want to end it on. But I think at the same time, that's such a coincidence that's what the last song is on the album. It's a song about taking it slow. When Miller passed away so young, it was 27, 26 actually, I think 26 or 27 Miller passed away. But it's still it's crazy, because again, he lived his life, and it was just taken away so soon, man. This is the album that I think should have won the Grammys last year. Or not last year, but the year it was eligible for. I'm pretty sure it was last year, but I don't care about the Grammys, so. But, I feel Swimming should have been Album of the Year. If it wasn't Swimming's, it just, to me, it didn't make sense. But, like I said, this is a heartbreaking album. And as you read about it, it's, you know, I always, when I write about albums, I always listen to them at the same time, so I can like have that first, you know, I'll take like my first, you know, kind of trip with the album, but usually when I'm writing the album, I'm playing it track by track, so I can kind of get like the refreshing, like, you know, sound in my ear to remember what I was feeling about this song the first time, and then have like a second or third time in my ear with it, like, you know. And it's just, again, it's a tragic track to sadly conclude on what I think is an early nominee for album of the year. Like, this is a beautiful album. I truly hope that this is what we ended on, and we just don't, you know, we don't do what we did with XXX, where we just beat the fuck out of everything that's unreleased. That we just, you know, we don't try and release another Mac Miller album next year. You know, at most we release songs, but I just hope that we don't beat the fuck out of this, because again, I think this is a beautiful album for Miller's, you know, career, for Miller's life. Like, this is a beautiful piece to just conclude it on. So if you want to keep reading, but overall I think that, like, Circles is without a doubt a great album. I think this is a must listen. You know, I don't do number ratings and all that bullshit. I don't believe in numbers. I believe in just straight, like, if it's good, if it's good, if it's bad, it's bad. And this is without a doubt, like, just a phenomenal album. So overall, you definitely need to, like, listen to this album. You definitely need to, like, give it an opportunity to let it, like, grow on you. You know, this is an album that I think when you smoke to it, it is at its finest, because that is when your pure emotions are there, and that is how, like, I personally emotionally connected to it. But until next time, y'all, I'm the Musical Hippie, and this was my review on Circles by Mac Miller.
Street lights. Thank God for the street lights. The sun goes down and up comes the crack pipes. Black and white, both smoking dope tonight. What a sight. Meth pills, crack, and even ecstasy. Dropping off the road where my essence got the best of me. Best of us, fuck a hook, let me be. I'm just trying to cook it up and serve it to the dying fiends. Niggas need that water, know you starving, I got what you need. Nigga, this ain't needle, this ain't fatal, let me set you free. Praying for my people that was stuck, cause they couldn't leave the block cause they was shaking with cases to flee. Bro hit my line like on my mama, they ain't catching me. It ain't worth the stress, do that time, nigga, pay that fee. Death or a cell dying when they signal me. Trying to help myself and helping you is not a benefit. You can keep that energy. Dealing with a mosh pit of people trying to profit. Money making mind state, we don't have those problems. Broke, yes indeed, but by Monday we gon' solve it. Shadow losing storage, sell a package to the auction. Peace of my soul for survival, what's an option?